Hi, my name is Sarah Osterhaus. I am a nurse 2 at Clovis Community Medical Center and part of the ENA program. As a new nurse, I was not as technically competent as some of my peers. My background is law. I hadn't been in a hospital doing things physically. And I needed help with that. In the beginning, I had even the people I was going through my cohort with helping me on techniques. The preceptors, not even my preceptor necessarily, but all the other people who were precepting would even be like, this is my technique. And I actually got better at doing IVs or NG tubes and things like that. And it was because it had that built-in community that made it so much easier. What I like about ENA is that they go ahead and do these little videos and vignettes and they post them on YouTube. I actually will use those. I like the fact that we have the booklets that they give us so we can kind of go through to refresh our memory like a quick study guide, but just on ED stuff. I love the didactic portion. That's how I particularly learn best, is like, I gotta have you're talking to me, we are interacting, and then we're doing. And that there was a lot of that. So when we were in the very beginning over a year ago, it was 13 of us, baker's dozen. And we would be there in the mornings, learning, and then we'd move on to the didactic portion, which is like the hands-on, we're doing it. And it broke up the day, because you're not sitting there and lecture all day, but it also gives you the opportunity to practice the skills that you're going to be using on the daily. ENRP helped me out with the ability to care for patients, especially when I'm dealing with individuals who are in a medical crisis, but also a psychiatric crisis, because you got two things going on. And you have to be able to be calm, how to speak to people appropriately, because lots of times in the emergency department, you're just doing the thing to make the person stable enough to get them to where they can get their long-term care. And sometimes the compassion can get lost a little bit, let's be honest. But with the strategies that they teach, especially on their, it's not the Lassiter portion, but it's on our little workbook online, you can go through those just to kind of refresh. Okay, how am I going to respond to this real life situation? Just as a little refresher course. When new nurses come on the floor, and I think we all did this, you're scared. You've done nursing school, you passed your NCLEX, I'm a nurse. And then you get on the floor and you're like, what is happening here? Why are these people screaming in pain? This isn't like the simulation with my little robot. And having the people there to help you through those, especially as a new nurse, is wonderful. Oh my gosh, ENRP helps out with the stress levels. It's handling people. And not only the patient people, but doctor people, tech people, all the peoples, and how you talk to them. Because the truth is, as a work family, because that's what it is, you spend half of your life here, you got to learn how to talk to others. I think it's been really helpful in the communication, especially in the high rate approach that they were using. That was a good technique, especially if you're trying to do things really quickly and you're talking to a doctor. So I have found that extraordinarily helpful. And I also am teaching my preceptee to kind of use the same things. I want to make sure that she trusts me enough to tell me when stuff is going down or when she makes a mistake so we can fix it, or maybe it wasn't a mistake, ENRP is excellent for creating a sense of community, conformity, and this idea that you're all in this together. You're in the emergency department together to stabilize these individuals so they can go on. You are part of that team. And they are really big on that. So does everybody have the requisite skills and knowledge? Awesome. Who's going to be part of this team? And they're very clear that it is a team. And I think lots of times we get into work and we're like, this is my person, my patient, no one touch them. And you can go down on the ship if you're acting like that. The people who came before, they were left kind of to fend for themselves a little bit. You got your preceptor, but you didn't get to know all this. So it took longer to learn. They wish they went through the program. Literally have told me that.